What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and we are back. I inflected my name on this one. Thank you for giggling.
Sorry.
And we are back with the TokuBrew podcast, This Week in Toku. And with me, as always, is my lovely fiance and constant dealer with all my shit, along with all my crazy ramblings.
Of course I am, as always. I am Stormy.
And we are back with superhero time, technically. Actually, no, we don't have Precure on here. We can't count it. We're not officially sanctioned in the superhero time. We have to add Precure because of that, and I don't want to do that. Fuck that. Like, I don't hate Precure. It's just I don't have an interest in watching it. But hey, we do have a screenshot where it's Geats with the King-Ohgers, so
that's fair.
That's at
Close
least
enough.
good enough. It's good.
It's okay.
Yeah, we are pretty much just pressing on with Geats and
Getting to know more about. I almost said
King-Ohger.
I almost said Ryu Soldier.
Oh my god, maybe it's because we were thinking about, as we were recording this, we found out, sadly, speaking of Ryu Soldier, the passing of, his name is, like, Jiro something? The actor who played, Ultraman Jack's human form of Go, and he was also, like, the elder from, Jiro Dan, that's his name. Like, that, I think that was his stage name. I think he had a real name. But, like, he sadly has passed, and I can't believe it. One of the Ultra Brothers has passed.
Yeah, like...
It's like, there's only 5 of those actors,
I
but,
mean,
like...
It's one of those things where, like, we felt so fortunate to have them all for so long.
Yeah, it's like...
It's like, it finally... It was bound to happen, because that's just how time works.
Yeah, he sadly
like,
passed due to lung cancer.
Ugh.
God damn it, cancer. Stop killing people! People I like... People I enjoy entertainment-wise.
It really does seem to be lung cancer a lot of the time, huh?
It's not...
I think it's because of smoking.
Well, yeah, and it's like you see that in older people. Yeah, it's like, shoot, one of them... I know, like, there was, like, a recent...
Guys, stay away from cigarettes. Just don't do it. It's not worth it in any way.
Yeah, don't smoke
including
cigarettes.
Including vaping, youngsters. Including vaping.
Whatever.
Why, you gotta call me like, whatever, Mom, I'll do what I want. Like, it's literally bad for you.
I know it's bad for you.
It's like if it's fucking bubblegum flavored.
That's all I'm saying is it's a sad passing, and
I know.
I would say, and
I hope his family and friends are all right. It's always it's so hard to hear, man. Cancer is.
Well, then it's like I think he just came back in Ultraman not too long ago, and I was telling you, I was like, oh man, I hope for like 5 years down the line, maybe they could have gotten all of them together for like all 6 Ultra Brothers to be like reunited. Well, obviously Zoffy doesn't have an actor, so they'll get whoever. But like if they actually got all the original actors for like the 60th anniversary, and there's because the 6 Ultra Brothers, if they would have done something, but yeah, they can't do that now, and I'm sad.
Yeah, what a wild ride though.
Yeah, he was in 12 Great Ultra Warriors Dramatic, but whatever that one movie is called, I did it on the movie-thon. Superior 8 Ultra Brothers, I think that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. Which go watch that. That's a fun movie. Mm-hmm. Maybe watch that video. I don't remember if I have a gag in that one or not.
I love how we're talking about a dead actor and you said to plug your movie-thon.
I'm
piece of shit. Anyway,
I don't plug things often. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you don't feel like that was a very good time.
Sorry, I'm upset. I was mostly saying go watch the movie he was in.
It didn't sound like it. I guess at least that leaves us with something lighter to transition into.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a hard transition to go through. Anyway, so this person we like died of lung cancer. On to the funny king people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, other than that, we did get news about some King-Ohgers stuff, which we will talk about, but we will get to that when we get to a certain point in the show. So there's really no point in, like, talking about it before, because we are going to talk about it in the episode.
Yeah.
So, I guess, we start with Sentai, because that's what we watch first. You know what's funny is Superhero Time, I think, used to be... I don't remember... I know it's reverse of what it used to be, but I can't remember. I want to say it was, like... Sentai was first, and then Kamen Rider played, but now I think it's reversed, where I think Kamen Rider goes first, and Sentai goes second.
Where's Ultraman land?
Ultraman, I think, is on a different channel.
Oh.
Like, I don't...
Well, okay, when do you gotta switch over?
Yeah, well, you just go to YouTube.
That's fair.
You just go to YouTube. And they usually do it at a decent time, at least in
Out of your
America.
water! Out of your water! Oh, God.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
You must have knocked over your nice, healthy, hydrating water with your Pepsi.
Don't tell people how my life is. But yeah, no, we pretty much, this is just, they're expanding the world.
Yeah.
They're expanding the world in King-Ohger. We are seeing the newest kingdom.
You really and particularly loved this kingdom, like, stylistically wise.
It's not my favorite. It was just more of a, like, I never realized, like, they are really doubling down on making this feel like an expansive world. And that's what I like about it. Because it's like, I was like, oh, okay, they just live in the one big flower. I didn't realize there were, like, other little islands and other flowers where you
like
can see coast. Cities. Yeah, like, there's a beach town. Like, there's a lot. Like, this kingdom seemed big.
Yeah,
I guess it's
so.
like, it weirdly felt...
I imagine it would be pretty small if you, like, condensed it, but, like, because there is just so much open water with it. But...
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's like, but, like, the water isn't really any aspect outside of, like, it maybe giving shit to their flowers, which, by the way, apparently they are the beauty and medicine variety. So that's their whole shtick.
And they have flowers everywhere, and it's beautiful, and...
And the queen rules with an iron fist.
A gloved fist. But, it is interesting because, like, we've been talking about, like, the different styles of the kingdoms. Like, obviously with Reds, it's, like, you know, that medieval UK...
fantasy.
Like, obviously, like, Attack on Titan kind of look. And with, you know, Blue, it's very, like, futuristic.
Modern.
Like, modern, Tokyo, New York kind of look.
New Tokyo, York.
You alright?
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh, but and like this one, it feels a lot more of like. It reminded me a lot of like Tangled, like Rapunzel, where it's like old German. You know what I mean?
Was Rapunzel German?
Yes.
I know the story.
Dude,
it was.
Rapunzel is German for cabbage.
I know.
Because the original story revolved around them stealing a cabbage from a witch.
them stealing them cabbages from witches. But yeah, no.
But you know what I mean, like Tangled Rapunzel. It has
colored.
It has that kind of look.
I was
also
expected
the Kingdom Dance to play at one point.
Honestly, no. I also get French, like Beauty and the Beast, like specifically like her dress and a little bit of her castle and everything.
Yeah, but I just was talking about like the styling of like the buildings, and
like the flowers and some of the architecture too. But I don't know.
I can see what you mean though when it comes to like their fashion. It could be a mixture of them.
But we immediately get, because obviously we opened up last time with Blue and Gyra and fucking Yamagast
I was trying to figure
getting
out what
kidnapped.
I forgot what this screenshot was for a second.
This one?
Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, like so they you see the thing in the Kamakiri, like the god.
And when she drops them,
like literally drops them, like.
Blue lands, but then Red falls
like
on
lands
top of
cool.
It just knocks him over.
Yeah, just knocks him over, sandals up.
And dude, when
you see him immediately get hard.
Jesus, I wasn't expecting that.
We're only 8 minutes in, and we're this unhinged.
I was gonna say like he's just like immediately simps, but you're just like, oh man, he's like fucking rock hard. Yeah, like. It's so funny, like, how he tries to hide it, too, because we forgot to take a second screenshot of what he looks like after.
But he does it several times throughout the show.
Where he just, like, he's looking at her like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, he immediately, like, is like, play cool, and he, like, straightens up and, like, does, like, little pouty face, you know what I mean? It's really funny.
Like, he's like, oh, I gotta let her know that I'm the bad boy. I grew up in the slums, which kind of bites him in the ass later. We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. It might bite him in the ass. It might. There's also a possibility of the opposite.
We'll see. But, yeah, so they're pretty much being... like having like a funny time, like introducing themselves. You see Kamakiri just go to the top of the steps while they just like fan.
It's kind of cute that like they just like her Mantis just kind of hangs out with
her wherever she is, like, which there's another scene later that I think is really cute.
She immediately just kind of like goes right past Blue. It's just like, oh, I'm interested in you too. Oh, what's his name again?
Gyra. No, she just said I'm interested in you.
I couldn't remember if it was Gira or Gyra.
I could be pronouncing it wrong. I don't know.
Because she's fascinated by him the same reason Blue was, of just like, how'd you do that?
Yeah, how did you? And she's also just like, give me God, Kuwagata. And he's like,
gimme.
And he's just like, no, and then he gets handcuffed.
And the handcuffs are bedazzled and have flowers on them.
Which, by the way, I want to say something. He gives, I don't know if God Kuwagata gave him his name or if Gaira himself just named God Kuwagata, because he calls him Kuwagon, and I'm like, that's so cute. It's like he's not just, because every time somebody's talking about him, he's like, oh, God Kuwagata, or Kuwagata, just saying like the name, and it's just like he gave him a name, so he's not just calling him yeah, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why they vibe.
So finally, someone's just casual about it.
Somebody who's not just like, oh, you have to form the big torso of the robot.
Oh, but it's his big responsibility or
whatever. You holding?
What'd you say?
I said the beat. God Kuwagata's just like, you holding?
Holding what?
Have you never heard that before?
No.
Are you?
What?
You are teasing me. You are joking.
Am I looking really stupid on the internet just now?
Like, I don't know if you're doing it to fuck with
I'm
me.
not!
Oh, you've never heard somebody say, like, it's like...
Are you holding?
Are you holding it? It's like, it's a term where I often see it associated with like, fucking weed, but I also see, like sometimes people use it for other drugs.
Oh.
So it's like, you holding? Got any grass in those fields?
Got the devil's lettuce.
Oh.
We got a
that was a sidetrack.
Look, man, like, I've embarrassed myself when it comes to drug knowledge before. It's not exactly new for me.
But yeah,
I don't know if you want like a little side story or anything, but
no, we you know what? I don't think this is the time or place.
So,
do you? Wait, question: do you want to say that story on the air?
You can just say it really quickly, essentially. So, at a job I had, they're like, "Oh yeah, we had this really terrible manager that would like go and smoke on the roof and leave roaches." And I thought that it's like, oh, he was smoking cigarettes, and then he would leave the butts, and it attracted bugs. And all of my coworkers laughed at me.
Oh my god.
They're just like, you're precious. I'm just like, no, I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I always forget that. It's like, that. Honestly, I would have thought that. I'm like,
like,
cockroaches are showing up?
I literally, my response was, oh god, he attracted bugs? And they had exactly the same response, essentially, you did, of just, are you fucking with me?
Yeah, like, are you, like, it just had,
I mean, it's not like I'm, like, young or anything. Like,
it's funny, because you just had this look on your face as I was doing.
I'm in my mid-20s now. Ew.
You're a 20-year-old trying their best.
I can't even say that. I'm in, like, my mid-20s now.
No, you're not. I'm in my mid-20s.
I just turned the same age as you.
No, I mean, like, this year I'm going to be in my mid-20s.
I mean, yeah, if we're gonna get specific. I'm 6 months behind you.
It counts. Hey, but...
We haven't even gotten to the freaking title opening, Adam. Come on. Stop making fun of me and let's go.
We gotta keep moving on. This is unhinged, I'm sorry. But yeah, either way, we get another shot of the kingdom. We got another shot of the Flower Kingdom. But then we finally get the intro, which, by the way, I like the theme song.
I do. It's really fun.
It's a good theme song, and it has like this black and white kind of like noir, whatever.
And where it's like black and white except for like select colors.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like on each of the colors, which I did not get screenshots of all of them, but like they all have like their signature color. But since we have purple on the team, and if you know, since it's already black and white, they wanted to give black an accent color. And you know, usually, if you remember even last year with Inoue Brother, he had purple.
Yeah.
So they can't use that because they have Palpion.
Yeah.
So he has orange.
I think it looked really cool, honestly.
Yeah, it looked good. I liked the part where they were all on top of the gods.
Oh yeah, and they all had like moments where they like would fall and I don't know.
Yeah.
Really cute. I really liked the parts where it was like those still. It almost looked like art pieces, and like they had like as they were like doing their moves, like pieces of their.
Like a god.
The pieces of their god would like come in.
Yeah.
Fucking especially B because he just got a stinger on his butt.
He just got that sting butt.
I don't know, I thought those looked really cool. Like I could easily imagine those being like someone's like wallpaper background for their laptop or something.
Yeah. It looks really cool, honestly.
It's really cool.
What I think is really funny, because then we get right into the episode, which by the way, I like the whole intro, it was fun. Like, the music weirdly makes me, like, I saw somebody be like, oh, this feels so early 2000s. I'm like, maybe that's why it feels nostalgic to me, where I'm like, I like it, though.
Yeah, it reminds me of something, but I can't remember exactly what.
But yeah, no, we immediately then get into Gyra's tied up into the
Also,
ceiling.
freaking Blue has just been a treasure trove of facial expressions recently. We're just
No,
gonna
this
have
whole cast has. Let's
Oh,
not.
absolutely, yeah. But I just mean Blue specifically has just been giving us some gems.
Exactly. But
Yeah, he's literally hanging from the ceiling.
from a chandelier. He's not swinging.
Chandelier.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying too well. It'd get you copyright struck or something.
Oh no. But he's just like and she's immediately like, "Give me God Kuwagata," and he's like, no, and Blue's just like, "Dude, just give it to her.
Come on, man. Be my wingman.
Just give it to her. It's fine. Just give her what she wants." And all of a sudden he's just like, "Do you like her?" And he's just like,
No.
He literally, yeah, he's like, his whole facial expression goes from like, I don't know what to say, to being like, make it sound cool. And then like, he just has so many over facial expressions from
So
like,
good.
he starts laughing like the fake like, ha 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 ha.
Like, ha ha ha,
Yeah.
definitely not.
It ain't like that.
Sorry, that was really loud. I know I'm being quiet, so
I-
it's probably jarring.
I thought that was funny.
It's really funny. Also, we have the next thing where like she's just like, oh, I'll just turn you into Regulus, and she holds up a paper. I feel like that's like meme template material right
Yeah,
there, right?
people are gonna edit out either Gyra or like the whole picture, and just it's gonna be something else, like a picture of something else.
I could see it being like, oh,
It's like
because she's
porn.
holding a teacup or like it could be like, oh, I have receipts, like, oh, what,
Yeah, when you show up with them receipts. But he's immediately just like, Gyra's just like, hells yeah, send me to Regulus. Let's
That's
fucking
exactly
do
what
it.
I want.
He's like, I want to fucking. Which, by the way, again, like he's going full hog into trying to be like the evil overlord kind of thing, but nobody's buying it for fucking 3 seconds.
It's like when like a little baby puppy starts.
It's our dog.
It's like Maggie when we just got her as a baby. She was like what, a few weeks old.
Yeah.
And then we took her for a walk.
And then this giant Sherman Shepherd.
Rona, and there was a massive German Shepherd, and she was just like, I can take him, and she started.
Well,
like,
no, she couldn't even bark at the
yeah,
time.
She
was just
didn't figure out how to bark yet.
She couldn't. She was like.
She can breathe fine, by the way.
She's a pug.
Yeah, she's a
as
pug.
you know.
Oh my god, though. And then like it's so funny because the German Shepherd just looked at her like, I could like fart on you and knock you over. It's.
But yeah, no, that's about like how they're looking at him.
It's so funny because that reminds me of how he is. Like, I'm an evil tyrant king and I'm gonna take over.
But
everything.
he has
Just
so.
like, aw, you're adorable. Or like the desert rain frog.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a squeaky toy.
Which by the way, he's just like, hey, I wanna. Is this where he mentions the Rainbow Juria?
Yeah, he does mention it there because he's like, oh, I'll talk if you give me some Rainbow Juria. And they're like, okay, cool. I'll
Yeah, we'll make you some.
And then we see something actually creepy.
We see the Bugnyark in the underground. Here in the underground!
Oh, man.
And they're gonna kill all the humans. That's serious.
Literally kill all the humans. Like, even his freaking Death Roomba. it's like,
Doomba.
oh, even if 100 of you die, if 101 of them die, then it's all worth it.
Like,
and we get to see this really cool, like, prophecy.
well, yeah, they're like, oh, we need their leg. No, it's like the stone pillar that Regulus had in his castle. He's like, oh, we need their legendary treasures, these other shoe gods, and it's literally these are ones we had. Some of these are ones we haven't seen before, and like the screenshot's already up there. I already know it's gonna be up there for a little bit, but like because it's like I have stuff to say. So we obviously can see in one of the parts where you can see the symbols for the original, like, main ones for King-Ohger, except for obviously like the little baby ones.
And Mantis kind of got knocked out, but
yeah, like, but whatever. That's whatever. We see Kabuto, which we're already aware of, and these we got toys for, so now we know what they look like toy-wise. But we have, I'm imagining he's gonna be called God Bata, because I don't think he's gonna be a grasshopper.
Bata.
I do not remember what Scorpion is called. Sisori? Yeah, Sisori. In God Scorpion. So like we got,
and we have the
what
spider.
possibly could be the 6th Ranger's mecha. I think that's supposed to be his spider.
It's white too.
Yeah, so
and we also like on there see
on the bottom
kingdom that's definitely not
Like
a head.
a giant castle that is definitely not a giant robot head.
And those are definitely not little feetsies peeking up at the very top.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, this isn't gonna be an upgrade for King-Ohger.
Also, speaking of the toys, like, you showed me them. I don't know if you want to, like, put
I
them up
might
on
put them up.
screen, but, like, they are so pretty. I really like them.
Exactly.
Like, especially, the new beetle.
Yeah, like...
We didn't see the spider, though. It was just,
Yeah, again, no, like that...
the beetle,
And by the way, that was the
grasshopper,
news
and...
we were waiting for, by the way. We had God... We got the pictures of these in the toy form, which I will find pictures of. I know I'm gonna see them again. But yeah, no, we technically... I don't know if they're gonna be releasing them as a set, but I know that God Kabuto has already technically been released and is being released, I think, this weekend.
Oh,
I want
wow.
to say like the single release because there was a double pack with
Well, you need to get money starting to go in because, you know, they have no budget.
Oh my.
Again, like, the fact that, like, there isn't a whole lot of budget really just doesn't let them hold them back.
Yeah.
You can tell so much love went into this show. That was something I kept going back to after we watched it. Just so everybody involved loved this, loved making this.
It seems.
It seems.
But I'm surprised they showed us these mecha this soon. Like honestly, because we didn't see them in toys where I'm like, oh shoot, we're actually seeing Other of the Gods. Okay, that's cool. And then we see like
Our villain.
yeah, we pretty much get like he's just like, all right, which one of you guys want to fucking go to the surface and try to kill them all?
And I guess you could say, I shit you not.
Well,
A dung beetle, dude, which is cool because like it's actually like,
he talks out his ass.
yeah, like the butt part of it is like near the top of like where like the suit actor's head would be, so he has to like hunch over. It's a dung beetle. And,
Well, yeah, like the dung beetle is like on the back, like that thing. But
it's a really cool design, honestly. I kind of like it.
I don't.
It's gross, but I like it.
We'll get back to it. I have some things to say. But yeah, no, and then we pretty much go back to them after he's like, I say we kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
And we pretty much...
realizing there's also, like, some, Swiss. Or is it Norway?
Dutch.
Okay, so Denmark. You know, windmills.
Yeah, we got a windmill.
I couldn't remember where.
And pretty much everyone's giving the queen flowers.
And presents, and she has a yellow carpet.
And then suddenly somebody puts mud on her yellow carpet.
How could you let me walk on such a dirty road or whatever? Why do you keep scrolling so far?
Because I'm trying to look for something.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Also, so we see Gyra and Yamagast in the backgrounds, and fucking Yama's fucking holding a flower. Like he's like, you think she'll notice me?
I kind of want to go talk to her, but I'm nervous. But she snaps out of it because she's like, everything's so beautiful. Look at these flowers.
Yeah, like
and
the opening.
Oh yeah, we like had that done overnight at your request, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what they opened up on. Like she's like, oh, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks over at this crappy house, and then immediately is just like, oh, we need to get rid of that. And the her butler's just like, excuse me, ma'am. These aren't a house isn't mobile. And she's like, all right, we'll destroy it. And you're just like, wait, what? And you see him literally run over to the people and look like he's like saying, get the fuck out of here! And then like they go running off, which you can probably guess what happened.
Bang! Boom!
Yeah, she literally gets like the plunger and everything. And Blue's just like, oh, dude.
Horror. Yeah, like, he instantly turned off, just like, alright, let's go, never mind.
Well, like, literally after he's just like, when you're strong and charismatic enough, you can get away with anything, man. And then he blows it up and he's like, okay, oh, dude, I'm out of here.
Alright, let's go. Like, so let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go, bro.
But then Red is just like,
He's like, interesting. He's like, I might have to kill her too. And we see one of my favorite parts where you see Kuwagata and Kamakiri just hanging out.
They're like play fighting.
Yeah, they're just having a vibe. And then we get what supposedly is the Rainbow Juria.
It's a gold soup.
Yeah, it looks like soup. And
they're like, oh, you made it to like his specifications or whatever.
Yeah, exactly how he described it.
And Blue,
Just slurps it down.
like he has like his feet on the chair and he like grabs the bowl with his hands, doesn't use any utensils, and it slams it down, you know.
Yeah, and she's just like, how vulgar.
But she has this look on her face where I can't tell if she's absolutely horrified or if she's just like that one like crazy lady from Futurama where she's like, "Dirty boy, dirty, dirty, dirty."
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, like she's into it.
Yeah, like
Her world is so clean.
yeah, just do it again. Like,
Well, I'm about to say, they're already setting up that here, so we'll see.
but and he does like, yeah, this is good, but this isn't it.
Yeah, he's like, this isn't it. And then he literally shows us what it is.
Finally get to
He,
see it.
by the way, he said he's only had it once
When he was a kid.
when he was a kid. And it's like this jello with meth? I don't know. like cocaine?
I was gonna
White-
say citric acid, but
Powdered sugar, maybe?
I feel like citric acid would make more sense.
And
Like a little pucker
Yeah.
of sour,
And you-
sweet or something.
and you
It
pretty
looks delicious either
and he-
way.
yeah, and he's pretty much just saying, he's like, and that's what I'm fighting for everyone to be able to eat it in peace and everything. He's like,
I think essentially he's saying like I want everyone to have the luxuries. Like everyone is on equal playing field essentially, instead of like a class system where he comes from.
I don't even know if it's that.
And to be fair, if you think about it, that's kind of how the other kingdoms are.
Well, yeah, it's like we're gonna have to see how this goes, but it's like that's pretty much why he's like, oh, that's what he's fighting for, and all of a sudden, like,
And we had a couple theories on, I believe like that like regarding him possibly being royal.
well, yeah, and I'm about to say there is one thing. Again, I don't know if it's a spoiler because again, it technically is something they have down in writing and it's in books. So it's like, it's a spoiler. I would consider it. I'm surprised they fucking revealed something like this in a book.
He was in a magazine, right?
It was in a magazine, but it is for the show. It's official. And I don't know. It's like, again, I don't know where you want to land on that.
I don't know. Like, I hate spoilers, so I'm just kind of like staying away from it. I was just gonna try and talk about some of our theories.
It's just,
regarding it.
well, the only thing is, ultimately what it was just what his last name was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, that's what it is. And it's just, it weirdly is just one of those things where you're like, are you fucking real?
Well, anyway, again, I'm just gonna kind of back away from that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when we
But,
get there.
One of the things that we were talking about with the rainbow.
Oh, wait!
Trivia-
Yeah, okay, go about it.
What do you think I've been trying to talk about this whole time? You're the one that brought up the magazine and shit. I was literally just being like, hey, so here's some of our theories.
Yeah, go. Go, do it.
You alright, buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, it's like, oh, what if, this is kind of like, a bit of a delicacy. Because, like, the other kids have, like, talked about it. Like, oh, we
But
need
they've
to
never
have
had
this,
it.
But I don't think they've had it.
Because he said he's only had it once.
One of the theories that I wonder is, like, oh, I wonder if, like, let's say Regulus's dad or whatever, whoever was, like, the previous king, uncle,
father, brother,
whatever.
sister.
I think maybe brother, but I'm not fully sure. But let's like, oh, what if that king used to like go to these kids and like share this with them and like, like what he thought Regulus was at the very beginning before he turned
Like
into
the king
tyrant.
doing, like being like
Caring
this
about the
humbled
people.
king and going to see your people and like showing love towards your people.
And like protecting them and,
And
everything.
my-
It makes me wonder if like the previous king was like that, and that's why his standards were like that for Regulus, and he wasn't meeting it.
Well, and like you said that where you're like, oh, what if it was that? I was like, yeah, but what if it's like that king was his dad or something, and he went around. And he's like the
Hey,
Simba thing, Hey, I'm gonna show you the kingdom. This is my son. Like,
Look, guys, look at my.
we're
new
gonna
baby.
share this. Yeah, exactly. It's
And
like
then I would imagine Regulus would probably, at the very least,
he scarred something.
be like his cousin. I would almost want to say uncle, but you say that the actors are actually pretty closer, much closer in age.
I
than
think the characters. I don't know about the actors, but I think the
Oh, okay.
characters.
But it's like, oh, like what if it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill my brother.
But it's like that
And
with
like,
it.
I'm gonna kill my brother and his family, but I don't want to kill a baby, so I'm just gonna drop it off in an orphanage, and then that's how he ended up there. And maybe this is just one of his few memories that he has that he doesn't know why.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're
Something
definitely gonna
like
have to
that.
see. We're only 3 episodes deep, so.
I want more.
But
And before because like they kind of like get up and leave at one point.
Wait, before they leave, before we get to that, you have to think. Yellow did say, she's like, "Oh, at least you're a fugitive for a good thing." And she's just like, "I can commend that. Still need you to hand me over your shit."
No.
No.
And we see Purple.
Yeah,
again.
it's Rita. That's her name.
I almost.
It's Rita McIntyre.
I almost wanted to joke. It's just like that's like their secret girlfriend. Like
They're just looming. Just looming.
my girl.
And then we immediately get to the sad part of somebody in her kingdom being upset with her because like his daughter is supposed to be healed and she can't walk.
Yeah, it says like, oh, they went and got personally healed by the queen, and she's still in a wheelchair and doesn't. And like and he's like talking to like the guards, and like the queen's overhearing it and everything.
They give her money.
And they give them like some money to like keep them afloat for like a little bit.
Yeah, they show you it's a dress shop, by the way.
Yeah, like,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And they pretty much are like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense." She's like, "I cured you, whatever."
Yeah.
And like they just kind of go about it. And again, Gyra sees that and he's just kind of like, you're kind of the worst.
You kind of suck.
You kind of suck." And then we go, and then do we really see much after that? They kind of explore a little bit, and then we go to like the tree scene.
You said it reminded you of the one tree from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the one in Gondor, was it? Like
yeah,
where
Gondor.
yeah.
The white birch that they saw burning and.
Yeah, exactly. It weirdly gave me that vibe.
That did end up blooming.
Yeah, and we do get to see Sebastian. He says his backstory, and they're like, "Oh man, how long have you been working for Sebastian?" He's like, only 3 years." They're like, "You look old as shit," and he's like, "Oh, it's makeup."
I'm 25.
He's like, "I'm 25," and I was just like, "Holy shit!" I was gonna say before I knew it was makeup, I was like, "Dude, you've aged terribly."
It's that Star Wars 2 sons,
Oh yeah. It's the multiple sons that aren't there. What? But yeah, no.
I just thought of something. Remind me to tell you about it later.
And even he says that he had to say change his name to Sebastian
because he wanted to be more butlery.
Yeah,
she to be more butler-esque
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, more butler-esque or butler on the like thing. And as they're doing that, they're immediately like, "Oh, the Bugnark have attacked," and like Yellow's already en route. They're going.
Yeah,
she's already going.
Yeah, and we like see people running away and stuff.
Like
and
it's just getting exploded.
This dung beetle, creates a giant thing of shit.
Well, that's not until later, but yeah, you're right. They're just exploding.
They like fling it, and like you see, like in the panic, like the dad has lost the girl in the wheelchair. She's lost her chair. She's immobile. And like this giant, I think it's either mud or poop essentially, but starts to get flung at her, and Yellow just completely just covers her with herself.
Yeah, like you see her dress get like literal destroyed from baby poop.
Possibly.
And then like
she's like, "Oh my gosh, your dress," and she's like, "Look, it doesn't matter. I can replace the dress. You are irreplaceable." Like,
it's like, yeah, you can get any other. I can get my dress repaired, whatever. It's like you can't replace a life, pretty much. And
it can't replace you.
And she literally just tells
she's like,
the little girl just be more selfish. She's like, "I know you can fucking walk."
Yeah, so like her whole like thing is just like be selfish, make the world exactly how you want it. Like
exactly.
Like if you're not satisfied, make it the way that you want it.
Which,
to be.
By the way, earlier they were setting up that maybe the reason she stayed in the wheelchair, because their thing wasn't making money and they needed a way to, and they're giving her money since she's not being healed for compensation. But
like, oh, what if she
you
was
even
faking?
and like, yeah, what if she was faking? But we even see the dad kind of feel bad. He's like, "I'm sorry, I can't do anything, man.
I wish I could do more." Like he holds her and stuff. That's why it's like we feel like, oh, it's not a case of like them trying to like get more money out of them. It's just legitimately like her legs just aren't working.
Well, I think it's a mental thing for her because she's not like, "Oh, I still can't walk, but my dad's getting money and that's how we're being able to survive." So it's like she was subconsciously doing that. Like that's what I would think.
But anyway, so Yellow wrecks shit.
Literally is just like, I gotta kill some
party.
fuckers. And
Get Ghost Mantis.
yeah, and we get a ghost mantis, and you see her transform. She maintains her pose of just pointing the sword.
Yeah, I noticed.
And
Yeah,
she just goes to town. You see her fighting and bending over shovels.
she's flipping around.
And then like the little girl starts running, and she's just like, oh man, one day I want to be like you. After she sees her murder a bunch of people, and she's just like, oh, you're pretty selfish, but not as much as I am. Shit. And then we get the King-Ohger trend.
Hey, bring me the big robot. And
Yeah, and then
like,
and
he's like, he even like laughs, like, oh, I'll humor your selfishness. Or,
yeah, he's like, oh, I'll humor that. By the way, earlier we saw Gyra talking to some child. We'll get to that.
oh yeah.
We'll get back to Frodo.
We're
Give
just
me a
gonna
second.
finish this fight real quick.
And he literally just says, hey, look at that huge turd. And it's the dung beetle made a big poop.
Yeah. And also he says, like, he calls him macaroni brain.
Oh yeah, he's getting more insults.
I love his weird. I love the weird insults in this.
Yeah,
and how
he's like, who cares?
Immature Red is.
And literally, Yellow is just, it's not beautiful enough, and it just pisses her off. Which, by the way,
she grabs
in the transformation, I want to mention this real quick. In the transformation into King-Ohger, I didn't realize this until I think maybe the second time, but it does not say like Palpion or Hachi's name when they combine. And so I guess as they're getting all the King-Ohgers, they're going to add their names as they do it. Because obviously, we heard in this one, we got it to say Kamakiri, Kuwagata, and Tombo. And obviously Kumo and like Tendo. But those are not piloted by anyone.
I just noticed something I don't know if I'll be able to unsee.
Yeah, what is that?
On Yellow's thing with like the mantis design, it almost kind of looks like she has a big yellow mustache.
It does. It does.
Wow, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It just started raining.
The rain is pouring.
It is here.
The old man is not
But anyway,
snoring.
so she gets this snail that's just.
She's
going
just
by.
like, yeah, the snail, she's just like, oh my god, you're so cute! And then she just starts laughing like a maniac.
It turns into a minigun, and she's shooting the shit.
She quite
and
literally.
she turns it into a fucking statue of flowers, and she's just like has this like crazy laugh. It's so fun. And I don't know if like we have it in here at the moment, but like she like they basically like kick it, and then but she's like
Yeah, I don't think I got that, but yeah, I guess that's the ability. Like Tombo gives you the ability to fly. This one gives you the ability to stab people while you kick them. That's the gimmick.
I wonder if it helps with climbing.
Maybe.
Anyway, she thinks the snail is ironically fast, which is very funny.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, the snail just falls over.
Yeah, just kind of like, ew. It fucking made me laugh. I just wasn't expecting
let's finish up the other stuff, and then we'll get to what happens. Yeah, we'll do that afterwards.
Cool.
So we pretty much go back and like Gyra's just like, yeah, I knew you weren't a bad person, because I talked to that kid, I talked to Frodo, and he says, yeah, I'm gonna get a new house. Again, just watch Lord of the Rings. I have it on the mind. And then she's pretty much like, well,
the house she blew up, by the way, is.
Yeah, the house she blew up earlier.
And you're like, oh yeah, we're just getting a new house.
Yeah, exactly. I like how she's like, your house is ugly. I'm gonna give you a new house, and you're gonna go over there where it looks nice.
I mean, if I were to
There's no slums here.
Yeah, honestly, if I were gonna have like a bitch of a queen, I'd want her.
That's a fair point.
It's not just, I'm gonna blow up your house just so it's out of the way and not ugly. She's like, I'm gonna blow your house so it's out of the way, not ugly, but I'm also gonna give you a really nice house in return. You know.
She's Cusco, but if she did a good thing.
Yeah, Cusco, but if he actually had a conscience.
And
she just goes, like, she has the dress mended at the girls.
Yeah, like they send it to the girl's dad's place.
Oh my gosh, like, and during the fight, she does actually stand up and start walking and stuff.
Well, no, I mentioned that.
Oh, did you?
I did.
And like they ask them to repair it, so like they end up getting money that way. And she's like, oh, send all of the people to the castle so I can tend to them.
And she gets her evil, like, her cleaning healing machines. I don't know why I called them evil, but
yeah, they look evil.
Yeah, so
like they have teeth.
So
she has these cool gloves.
Yeah, so Reculus is literally talking to Hachi, the bee man, who's obviously going to be the focus of next episode, and I don't know if it's like Reculus has a plan or if he has a plan. I don't remember who. And we see this sword in a certain frame, of a remolded King-Ohgers sword. I don't know what that could be about.
But it doesn't have all the stuff on it, and it's black and gold.
And he pretty much hands him a little crystal that looks like it's one of the souls for one of the gods. And yeah, and it looks like he's gonna take Kabuto.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, I literally made the joke as we were watching. It's just like now available for $8.99 or whatever, and then like
the magazine gets announced.
You showed me later that day that they were in fact selling those gems. I honestly hope that they make a candy out of it because it looks delicious.
Oh, like those scorpion candies.
Yeah.
And then
you can actually
and then you immediately see God Kabuto start attacking, and Kuwagata's just like, bros, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Overall, a really fun episode. We've been talking about it for 40 minutes. Holy shit.
It was really fun. I got to learn a lot more about this
kingdom. I liked it.
Couple of tangents.
Several tangents.
Many tangents.
But
we're gonna talk even more about Geats because oh my god, so much shit happened.
First of all, we find out Ace sleeps.
He sleeps.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
He sleeps. It literally like this whole.
We open up and Baroba is pissed.
She's just like so mad
because we just saw Crimson Fox.
Yeah, we literally saw him use Boost Mark 2 and literally destroy everything. I don't have a screenshot of it, but it literally opens up with the gardener screaming about how upset he is.
And I love it.
It's so funny. And pretty much they're just like, well, and by the way, Nudge Sparrow makes a fucking doofus move and saying, hey, just follow the plan, it'll be fine. When Buff is just like, what the hell was that new form? Like, which, by the way, he just calls the Crimson Fox, so apparently everyone just knows to call it the Crimson Fox, I guess, I don't know.
Apparently. But yeah.
Yeah, and he pretty much gets blown off for that. He's like, fine, whatever. And he's just like, alright, let's start the next game, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that once we get past a certain thing.
And yeah, so we see Ace sleeping.
Yeah, and he didn't even realize that he had, like, fallen asleep.
Yeah, he's just like, it was fine. He's just like sitting on the couch.
Yeah, and then Neon and Tycoon actually go out for like what I assume is like brunch or something, and they're talking about it because it's like, I mean, I assumed he slept, but like I've never seen him like nap, like actually out in the open.
Yeah, exactly. I like how that's just a thing where it's like we've never seen Ace nap. It's just like this is weird, and then immediately Jin is Zine. Is just like, hey, I want to know tell me everything about it.
They're like, oh, who the hell are you?
Which, by the way, this is the first time we're seeing any of the supporters interact with the characters that's not the person they're supporting.
Yeah, which was kind of, I weirdly was like, why did I notice that before? Because I was like, oh yeah, they wouldn't know who Jean is, huh?
Exactly. It's like, and like he's like, oh, I need to know more. I think it has to do with the Crimson Fox, and they're like, what the fuck's the Crimson Fox? Which makes sense because they never saw it.
Yeah, because like, oh, he's acting weird, and he's like, oh, tell me everything that you know about Ace.
Yeah, which by the way, Baroba announces that she's going to be doing a Sengoku game.
But I mean, the information that they give him was the fact that he said
that's later.
That later?
It happens later.
I thought that we saw that.
No, because it's like immediately interrupted for them to change their outfits, and they're like, "What the fuck are we dressed like? Why are we dressed like ninjas?" And like he's just like, "Oh, because you're the game's enemies. You have to do what it is for the game."
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so the game has started, and we pretty much see an old Sengoku style house mountain, pop up, and that's where Baroba's from.
A house, if you will.
And they're pretty much their goal is to take. Obviously, the goal this whole time has been to get the other Vision Driver, so they can use the Desire God.
And funny enough, since they're a part of the game officially, he also gets dressed.
Yeah, Lord Reginald's in a samurai outfit, and Buffa says he wants to take his head.
Yep.
He wants to kill him. He's out for blood. And I like how you see, like, them immediately realize it, like Gene did. He's just like, dude, you gotta go.
Shit.
And like
he unveils his driver like a sword.
Like the old, like it was in one of those boxes with the ribbon. So it's like, yeah, he's like pulling it out. He's like, I guess it's time. And like, cause like Buffa and his gang just were about to come in and wreck shit. And Tycoon and Nyago show up just in time, only to get their asses kicked. But Tycoon literally gets a chainsaw to the chest.
Dang.
That is brutal. And then obviously Ace shows up and literally annihilates them all.
Well, yeah, but he has first of all, he has like 2 swords.
He has his own outfit, by the way.
An outfit.
Which, by the way, you were saying like, oh, the sword acting in this.
I'm wondering specifically Nyago's actress.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if this was like one of like the things that must have been like on her resume or something. The fact that she knows how to like stage sword fight essentially, because like my god, she really showed off.
They focused
skills.
on it too.
She showed some fucking skills. I was like, damn.
Which, by the way, Tycoon using ninja making sense for this game.
For once.
For once. And.
But anyway, so they were like, oh, and he beats the shit out of everybody with Crimson Fox.
Well, no, he's immediately just like, oh, because Jin was watching.
Yeah.
Zine was watching, and he was just like, I keep calling him Jin. That's not even right. If I was saying Jean, that would be more right. But, he's just like, oh, but we have Ace. And then, like, Ace literally then comes in, wrecks house, has, like, a badass moment, literally annihilates Buffa by turning into the fox and just murdering him. And he's just like, oh, we gotta retreat. And they're just like,
is that the Crimson Fox thing that we've been told of?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, Neon's just like, where did you get that buckle? And he just answers with something like that. And it's just like, that's not an answer. That's not right. And Lord Reginald is immediately perturbed. And they're trying to figure out, and this is where they start talking casually, and like this is where he gives the information of being like, all right, tell me all your information. They're like, oh, we know that it's about his mother and that it was a rejected wish, and he's like, that doesn't make any sense. I've never seen Ace write that wish.
Yeah, and another thing was like, oh, he said that he had been doing it since like 1 AD.
Yeah, AD 1, yeah.
He's like interested, like strange.
Yeah, exactly, and he's like, so they're pretty much putting the puzzle pieces together after he gets all the information. He immediately goes to talk about to Lord Reginald. And he's just like, hey, I heard of this, there was this one old desire god from years back. He's like, I haven't seen every episode. And he had a really strange wish. And I'm wondering about this wish. And it was Isu. Isu.
It was the one that started with an E.
Yeah, Isu.
The one that was written from top to bottom.
Yeah, and he's like, he literally is just like, why do you want to know this? He's like, to see, he pretty much says what he said before, where he's like, I want to see how Ace lives or perhaps how he dies. And like, Lord Reginald calls him a true audience member for wanting to feel, I guess, the reality of Ace's life. So I want to know what that means. Like,
you had pointed out something interesting with it, where you had basically been like, oh, like, since time doesn't really mean anything to these people, like, oh, I imagine that there have been some people who have sniffed out what's actually going on, and they've wished to be a part of, like, the staff, like, maybe Neon's dad.
Like, yeah, like, Neon's dad, like, what if they're picking up stragglers from all these alternate time periods?
Like, they're picking up people along the way, and now it's, like, grown to the point where, like, oh, you can't really tell.
Yeah, it's like now the people who are like who are actually from the future where it started,
were like originally from the future, that
like now they're less interested.
Yeah, and we almost think like, because we always thought like, oh, maybe their lives are extended. At this point, I wonder if they're just essentially immortal. Well,
yeah, it's like, well, they have predetermined lives, but it's like, what happens if you're predetermined to live 300 years? You know, like, it's like time means nothing to them, like quite literally, like because it's like they know they have a time limit, but then why does it matter? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, and it's just a very interesting conversation because he does confirm. He's like, yeah, that wish did get fulfilled, and he's just like, huh, and he's like, oh, I bet you it's exactly what you think, and it's like, he's like, it was exactly what you thought, and like that's when they get into the audience member thing, and I just think that was a very interesting scene where it's like Lord Reginald really didn't put much fight up or near
probably because he realized, oh yeah, he's from like the future people. He's probably just having fun, essentially. Like he doesn't actually care.
Well, yeah.
Because that's one thing that like I was kind of talking about with him, and I'll go further into it once we get deeper into this episode. Was the fact of just like he doesn't truly. It's something that Ace picked up on. He doesn't actually care. He wants the drama. He wants the show. That's what he cares about, is having the show. And
then Jeremy does the dumbest fucking thing ever and left the base.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get my vision driver back. Only to get ambushed 3 seconds after he says that.
Yeah. And Tsurumi actually puts up quite a fight.
Which, by the way, I was
ass.
almost immediately right in what I was meaning last episode, where I thought she was gonna cut off his hand. I was only half right. She didn't cut off his hand, but she did take his thumbprint.
Yeah, and fucking another thing that absolutely blew my freaking mind was like.
And she was just like, she's just like, oh, I want access to transform. And he's just like, you're gonna take one of my fingers? And she's like,
No, I wouldn't want that. Gross. He's like, excuse me, I manicure every day. Like, not even kidding.
And you were just like,
he
looks like somebody would manicure every day.
Like, you look like a bitch that would get manicure every day. But I have to say, one of the things that
she scans it with her gun.
Blew my mind was when she scanned it with her gun. She's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna redesign my finger to have your thumbprint." Like, that's fucking wild to me. Not only does time mean nothing to them, but I feel like their physical presence also means nothing in a way. It's just like, I don't care. Like, whatever. I'll redesign myself to look however I want. It feels like a YA novel that I read. Like,
what?
Pretties. Like, if that even makes sense to anyone who's read
a
that.
young adult novel? Why didn't you just call it a young adult novel?
I don't know, because I didn't want to say young adult. I don't know. It was my brain right
I
now.
didn't know what it meant!
You just said it!
I know! I was making sure I was right. But, like, so yeah, then that's literally all that happens there. So yeah, Cherami fucks up again.
And now she has full access to this.
Now she can transform
driver.
into glare. Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Quite literally, do I even have to say that she's gonna transform into glare too later? Do I have to say it? I feel like everyone knows as soon as this shit gets pulled.
I mean, you just did, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whatever. Anyway, and Jean confronts
Ace.
Geats.
Yeah. Ace, and he's...
Did I say Geats?
Yeah, you said Geats, so it's not wrong.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I know what your secret is. He's just like, and he literally tells him what
it's literally the theory that you came up with specifically.
Oh yeah, what if he was getting...
The goddess of the creation theory that I have is still possible, but like, you straight up called this one.
Where
I gotta give you props for
well, yeah, it's like he's been reborn.
Yeah, he
gets reincarnated.
And he keeps his memories every single time.
Well, yeah, and like that's something he's like, oh, that's your special ability. Everyone's supposed to have their memories erased at the end of Desire Grand Prix, but you are special. You get to keep your memories every time it gets reset. And you also get the memories of your past lives.
And also the reason that, like, your thing didn't get granted, and you've just been forever searching for your original mother, essentially.
Yeah, he's just like, he said, oh, if I said you were right, would you believe me? He's like, I want to believe that's true. Mm-hmm. He's like, you being separated from your mom 2,000 years ago, but still looking for her, and he just gets so excited.
And we even get like a small...
Yeah, we get to see a couple of his past lives. We obviously see like what I'm imagining was his first life. Like
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, oh my god, the curly wig. But yeah, like his Roman days, I guess, and what could possibly be Ace Garfield. A little disappointed, not big enough hat. But he also said
it's very like 20s Great Gatsby, gangster, black and white noir kind of.
Yeah, they're all wearing fedoras. Mm-hmm. And he literally says, he's like, but you do it off and on. He's like, sometimes you live your life without completely unconnected to Desire Grand Prix. He's like, but a lot of times you would participate. So
it explains everything, and a lot of the same things that we even talked about, like, oh, not being scared of the Jamato, immediately knowing what's going on, immediately knowing.
He's like, oh, I'm a fox this time. You know what I mean?
A lot of things we pointed out.
And he's pretty much just like, he literally calls it a truly touching documentary that traverses time. And I think that's where Geats gives the line of, my life isn't your entertainment.
My life isn't for your entertainment, or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it's just one of those things. And he's just like, hey, but you got to be careful using that buckle. Your body isn't used to moving that fast. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like physically affecting him. And he's literally like, nah, it's no worse than jet lag, as he like limps off. He's like, I'm not tired. What are you fucking talking about?
I just need to lay down. It's fine.
And then we go to Kaiwa and Kikura, and he's pretty much just like, what the fuck was Zine asking you? You better be fucking careful. I don't know what he's fucking doing. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, huh. He's like, why do you watch me? He's like, I just want to watch your misadventures. He's me. Kikura's me.
Yeah.
Kikura's me. I fucking love that where he's just like, oh, I just want to laugh at your misadventures. He's like, it's a fun time.
You're a cute, goofy dude. You're just the
Yeah,
dude.
and then we get Kyun being his asshole self, and we pretty much he's just like, hey, don't trust Zine or any of the other
And
supporters.
interesting enough, apparently he is not actually the paper because we cut to him
Disappointing.
in with iPod AirPods in, and he's like on an iPad like writing out what happens on that page. And for whatever reason, my brain immediately feels this is very gross and icky, like he's gaslighting her. Like this feel like he's leading with a lie, like, oh, how could I say this to your face? But it's like, I don't know, like this feels icky to me.
I don't know why you think it feels icky. Like I can see
I don't
it.
know,
He's still an
something-
ass, but like I don't know.
I don't know, like just something bothers me about it.
And then okay, now we immediately get into the final fight because it's pretty much Ace wandering in a where.
Before we get into it, I'm sorry. Like one of the things I wanted to talk about that I mentioned earlier was my thoughts on Jean, because I know that you probably feel a little bit different.
I
like,
feel a little bit
differently. This is
differently.
what makes me feel ick about it. Like Jean gives me the ick as well of just he literally is in it just for the entertainment. Like he literally doesn't see Geats like as an actual person that's going through and doing things. It's more just like, wow, this person has this story that I like. I want to see the ending of this story.
He's no better than us though.
Essentially, like, but like, I mean, at least if like an actual person was to come up to you and tell you what was going on in their life, like you wouldn't act like him.
That's fair.
You know, it just.
I
know.
I
feel like Ace is on the right track when it comes to him just being like, I never called you my partner. I never made you anything special. You did that to yourself. And I'm not. My life isn't for your entertainment. I feel like, honestly, I just kind of agree with Geats at this point.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. Where it's like, but I feel like by the end,
he's using him to like get his like
excitement
jollies off. I guess.
Like, it's one of those things where, again, it's childish of what he's doing in a way. And where it's like, there really isn't any harm. Because, again, he is a future being. It's like, why should it matter to him? You know what I mean? Where it's like, to Geats, he's like, this is my fucking real life. You need to calm the fuck down. But we see later...
This is my reality. This is my world. And you're just, like, getting entertainment out of it. You're no better than Baroba. The only difference between him and Baroba is Baroba wants negative.
Suffering.
Yeah, she's just like, I just take pleasure in other people suffering, so I'm gonna do that as much as I want. Like, Jean's just like, well, I like seeing Geats' story and being moved, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Like, they're the same.
They're the same. They're very similar. But meanwhile,
two sides of the same coin.
But yeah, but is Kikura any better? He's just like, I just want to fucking vibe.
I feel like I need to learn more about why he's interested in Neon. Of like, is
that's
this kind
Kyun?
of is
yeah,
that Kyun? Yeah, not Kikura. I'm sorry. Kikura, I honestly just was like, yeah, he just like watching Tycoon's misadventures, and I vibe. Like, why not? I like him. And,
not sinister, but he has no ball in this game.
But like Kyun, like it's just like, is this kind of a thing where like he's lying to her and he wants her romantically, like for himself, or does he actually want her to just be happy? Because I don't get like that. I just want her to be happy vibes.
He's both an asshole.
I want her for myself vibes. Like,
I don't.
I want to be the one to make her happy. I want to be her true love. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
I feel like, and if she doesn't give that to him, like, oh, what if she ends up with Tycoon or someone else, and he's gonna get mad.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Like,
we haven't seen the
vibes I get from him.
Well, to be fair, we've only seen.
He looks evil.
We've only seen Kyun and Kikura transform once. I wonder if we'll ever see them transform again. I'm really curious. But let's get into the fight. So I'm about to say, because I don't want to get into my spots on how I feel about Zine until after we get the fight. Because it literally is just like, it opens up with, by the way, I have no screenshots of it, but I remember it. Like, I don't know why, but Ace is like wandering in this like dingy warehouse district for some reason. Like, why the fuck is he there? Yeah, and just like falls over. And
they basically kidnap him.
Well, like, yeah, no, like they immediately like Baroba pops up with all her people, and Jean's like, hey, I'm not gonna
let it end this way.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this isn't how this is gonna work. So
and Jean actually gets his fucking ass wrecked a little bit. Like, he actually like he gets the shit kicked out of him.
It was just so ridiculous.
And she does turn into Glare too. Big shocker.
Wait, I'm realizing some of my screenshots have gone missing.
Oh jeez. I don't know. Like we're pretty much at that is where it ends. Like
I know that's where it ends, but I'm now confused. I had a certain one that I really liked. I hope I didn't lose it.
But anyway, and like they're holding him up, and he's completely out and.
Well, no, it's like he starts fighting him, and she's just like, "Hey, you know that no, it's like the support." Well, before that, it's literally her and Zine fighting.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Oh, the sponsors don't get to participate in the Jamato Grand Prix. You're breaking the rules. You can't do that." And he's like, "Fuck your rules.
He's like, excuse me.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your chicken strips.
And
Fuck your chicken strips."
and he's just like they're immediately like she's just
she
like
wrecks him.
yeah, she just wrecks his shit. It's fucking insanity. Like she's just glare 2 out and just ready and just like literally upgraded the 2 Jamato riders that have been hanging with her with Monster and Magnum, and they are just like Jean is putting up a decent fight, but like again, Glare's just way stronger than I guess the supporter riders. And
which makes sense.
And it just, yeah, it makes sense, but you just see him like untransform and he's just like freaking out, and she's just like,
and again, he's limp there, and one of the monsters is holding him
yeah,
up.
one's in a full Nelson, and like she's like, "Oh, are you ready to watch your favorite die?" And she's literally getting so excited ready to fucking kill Geats.
I can only describe Jean's reaction as a kid throwing a tantrum. Like this felt like the older sister changing the channel when you wanted to watch what was on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I get the vibes that I do from them, because it means nothing to them. Like, do you care if, like, your older sister came and changed Blue's Clues to Vampire Diaries? In that moment, of course, but, like, doesn't matter in the long run.
I care immensely.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
And it does end, like, on another cliffhanger.
Yeah, of, like, is Geats gonna get shot? And honestly, I feel like it's going to be in this moment where I feel like a lot of your feelings and thoughts on Zine is going to change.
I mean,
in my personal opinion, because I feel like he's now committed and he's attached. Now it's no longer, it's like he's gone deeper. It's like we see in the preview, he says, "I should have never learned your secret." There's a reasoning for that.
Attached, but I feel like he still looks at Geats almost like he's a fictional character, like he is just a character on a TV show that he likes.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it's going to evolve.
In the way that we are attached to Geats.
No, but I'm saying I think it's going to evolve further because of whatever is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be like Geats is actually going to get shot, and they showed us Baroba fixing her fingerprints so they can have an excuse of why Zine can bring him back to life, or if like he's going to get saved last minute. There's going to be something.
Just take him to the yellow King-Ohgers.
Yeah. Just send him to Kamakiri. Kamakiri orgy.
I know. What was the Jamato rule thing?
Oh yeah. Supporters cannot play in the Jamato Grand Prix. Okay. They're not allowed.
I couldn't read it from over.
And that's pretty much Geats. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Again,
how do you feel about Baroba in Glare 2?
I'm so amazed you called the reincarnation theory so on the nail. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You in such specifics called it. I'm like really impressed.
It's very interesting because I think it's a very odd like way that they did it, because it's like there's nothing that overall like alters, or it's just like, oh, okay, so because I saw people calling, Geats is technically the oldest rider, where I'm like, does it count if it's a different body and a different person every time?
We saw another one of him as a baby, so it's like,
yeah, exactly. Like we saw like him like some of his reincarnations, whether it been like just him as a baby
or a different race, even.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we don't know. Again, I think there's just certain.
How many languages do you think he speaks?
All of them. All of it. He's been alive for 2,000 years and gets those memories and gets to keep them. He has,
super genius.
Yeah, he has that big wrinkle brain. Like he has every language learned. he is just doing his best, doing his best life.
Again, I still think his mother being the goddess of creation is possible.
I think so.
I think a little bit less so now that like we've had this reveal. It's like, oh, it would make sense if like it wasn't his mom. Like I feel like it has gone from possible to more plausible, but again, like I'm just impressed that you called that so accurately.
Well, yeah, it's like that's the only other logical way I could see him being able to be 2,000 years old and like be completely unrecognized by the Desire Grand Prix staff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if Lord Reginald was like making all these games and he recognized one guy who looks the same, even if he's like, oh, because and meanwhile it did show he was smart when he did do it, because sometimes he would also live his life without being connected to Desire Grand Prix. So it's like he was smart enough to know. He's like, I don't want them to notice the pattern. Like, I can't afford that. Mm-hmm. Like, but, like, I gotta stay in the... I need to keep up with the Desire Grand Prix in a way, but without them noticing me. So, it's smart, but it's also very intriguing. Because, again, it was something a lot of people were saying. Even I said it, as you said. And I think that's a really kind of cool aspect that we don't get to really see that often. Again, it just makes Ace, like, he's a mystery box, and he doesn't even confirm it. He's just like, would you believe me if I said you were right?
Yeah, he doesn't even really confirm or deny. It would be really funny if, like, he wasn't like that, and he just let them believe that. That would be kind of funny.
That would be funny.
And one of the things, I guess, that I mentioned was, it actually is kind of fairly possible that they might kill Geats in this show, because of this reincarnation aspect.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. But even though it's gonna would change his animal, but they'll find an excuse.
I don't know if they will, honestly. But
yeah,
the fact that it's like, wow, that could be on the table is just kind of funny.
Yeah. How do you feel about Baroba as Glare 2?
I mean, it's the same.
It is the same, but how?
I mean,
she's gonna probably use it more.
Into the thing.
By the way, she's probably going to use it more than Jeremy. It did.
He used it like what, twice? 3
He
times?
used it once and then got mugged. He used it once. It lasted 2 episodes, but he used it once.
I mean, what about you?
I liked it.
I think Baroba's probably one of the most interesting characters so far, honestly.
She's just out there to fuck with people.
And I love
That's her goal.
I love her psycho laugh.
Exactly. Like, again, she was getting so excited when she was just like, oh yeah, I wanna watch you cry as I shoot him. Do it.
Again, she just feels like the bully older sister. It's kind of funny.
As having that relationship with my sister early on in childhood, we get along now. It's all good now.
Yeah,
maybe that's why I'm more okay with it. Maybe that's why. Maybe
you're just conditioned.
No, I'm just like, maybe it's maybe that's why I sympathize with Gene.
You're just like, hey, he's trying his best.
All right. Okay.
It's not my fault that you turned the channel from Power Rangers to Bratz. Like, Monster High, I don't know.
Either way, so I'm about to say, what episode did you like better this week?
I'm Geats, come on.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's not fair. Like,
King-Ohger was fun. I like King-Ohger.
Ramping up.
King-Ohger, I feel like, is where Decker was, in my opinion, where it's like, I'm like, Decker, you're fun. I love you, Decker.
But
Geats is literally just making me just be like, I need to fucking stop and think for a second. I need to breathe.
And you said we're going to be getting an Ultraman in the summer?
We should have it by July, I want to say.
So there's that to look forward to.
Well, I'm about to say, it's like...
also, if you didn't notice, we mentioned it last podcast, but yeah, I had my birthday, so I'm a little bit older.
A little bit older.
Hopefully a little wiser.
I don't know about that. But yeah, no. So that was a pretty fun week, actually. It's like, again, we got some confirmation on Geats stuff. It was honestly a really solid week. I'm fucking surprised, though. I love Kikura just being like, I just want to watch you.
Yeah.
I just want to watch.
It sounded so genuine when he said it, too. Like,
He's like, I just want to He's like, I just want to watch and just see what happens.
He's just cute. I want to pinch your cheeks. Again, that's just where we're at. We're just like, yeah, Tycoon.
Yeah,
do your best.
Again, he's just the guy trying his best. Again, a man who's reincarnated 1 billion times, playing this game for 2,000 years. Neon is literally a wish. And then we have some guy. Yeah, who gets Mike Wazowski'd.
God, I wish we could have seen... what's the frog's name? Kikuro?
Kikuro, yeah.
Kikuro? I almost wish we could have seen him when Tycoon, because he's had like I think one extremely cool moment. You know, when he was like full ninja and he defeated like one of the bosses. You know, he was so cool. He was having his.
Oh, if you could have seen his perspective.
I really wish we could have seen him. Just be like, yes, finally.
Oh,
my boy.
Are you talking about also you would have liked to see him when he finally used the boost buckle after giving it to
my
everyone?
God, yes.
He was probably pissed.
It's just like, God damn it, Tycoon, it's expensive.
Stop making me have to give you another one. Because I love that's how they explained he got the boost buckle so many times. He's like, oh, why do you think you were blessed with the boost buckle? Oh, it's so good. I love Geats. It's a good time. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
We should probably
yeah, I guess that's kind of it.
get off
These
this
have
ride before we get on another
I'm about to say,
tangent.
honestly, the last couple of episodes have been really long. We've had a lot to say about King-Ohger.
I mean, also, yeah, and Geats just dropped like some enormous bombs, you know, plot-wise. So
Yeah, there's reasons. So
anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later.
well, thank you guys so much for listening.
We'll be here next time. Thank you so much.
Until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.